Hello and welcome to your second week of your seventh revelation. So if you're watching this video, you already read the seventh revelation, the seventh revelation commentary, and answered the seventh revelation journal questions and identified those things that you are grateful for, things that you are grateful for in your life in the now. That list of 25 things, that was intense, right? It really puts things in perspective. It really brings home what is important. And what is important is the now, the things that we have to be grateful now and existing in this present moment. So I want to share some stories, as I do, and about living in the now, about being grateful for the moment, and about how we spend so much time not really being present. And we talked about that before, but I want you to try this, or maybe you've experienced this on your own. And I think I shared a little of this story when I was at a Layla Hathaway concert. I went to a Layla Hathaway concert, and if you haven't been to see Layla Hathaway, I admonish you, absolutely go see Layla Hathaway. She was phenomenal. So she did something which was unusual for me when we were at her concert. She said, okay, everybody put away your cell phones. No cell phones allowed. I want you just to be here with me, be present in this space and experiencing this moment. And that was unusual because we live in a day and age where we have our cell phones all the time. We're constantly recording it or taking it. You know, you're at a concert, you're taking pictures or recording the person singing. You're taking selfies with your friends of yourself. You are there, but you're also filming the moment to capture it later so you can look at it, to share it on social media with all your friends and, followers and family, so everyone can see where you were. But she said, no, none of that. Just be here. Just be present in this space with me, and let's, have this journey together. And it was magical. It was beautiful. It was a momentous moment. And I didn't realize how detached you could get from actually recording something, and how much the atmosphere changed when we just all let that go and allowed ourselves to fully be present in that moment, take in her artistry and celebrate her artistry together as a unit, as a crowd, as concert goers. It was wonderful because we spend so much time being there, but not being fully present. I think I shared this with you about being at my cousin's wedding, and I want to share my cousin's wedding and also a live concert that I went to. And I think it was to see Sheila E. And it was phenomenal. But in each instance, when I was at my cousin's wedding, I was taping it. I was watching him say his vows, and I was watching everybody walk down the aisle, and I was taping it, and I wanted to get in, I'm taking pictures. But something happened with the phone where I had to set it down for a minute. And when I set it down, I realized that I hadn't really fully been there because I was so busy, taping it. Same thing with the concert. I had my phone, and then something just said in my soul, put your phone down, because I remembered the moment with my cousin at my cousin's wedding, and I put my phone down. And I really just, something in me just kind of washed over me, and it allowed me to be present in what I remembered was a beautiful evening. It was nighttime. The moon was out, the stars were out. Sheila E. and I think it was her whole family were performing. And it was like a concert in the park. And it was a beautiful night because it was summer. And I remember just kind of exhaling and being like, wow, this is awesome. I won't ever have this moment again. I'll have other moments that may be similar to this moment, but I won't have this moment again. So I allowed it to just saturate my soul and just feel it, just be present in it. And that's when I could truly show the fullness of gratitude for it and truly appreciate it, because I allowed myself to be there. Because whether you're filming something at your cousin's wedding, or whether you're, taking a picture of something when you're at a concert, you think you're there, but you are doing two jobs, which in one of them takes you away because you are now focused on also capturing the moment versus experiencing the moment. Think about a wedding videographer or a wedding photographer. They're not experiencing the wedding. They're capturing it for you. So you can look at it later when you think about it. You're experiencing it because you're in it. But their job, and then now we've all become mini wedding photographers and wedding videographers, or any event photographer, any event videographer, because we all have our smartphone out and we're all taking shots and pictures. But you're not fully there when you're doing it. I promise you, you're not. You are focused on that. Yes, you are there, but you're not fully engaged in it because you're also engaged in putting it up or typing, oh, at my such and such's event, or I'm here, blah, 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 looking at it, such and such. Now you're looking at the likes and you're commenting on that and you're experiencing this too. And you're, oh my God, that's so funny. Let me share it to such and such. You're not fully present because you're distracted doing two things at once. And yes, we can all multitask, but I dare you, I double dare you. Put that phone down for a minute. Exhale and allow yourself to be in that moment. Something happens that is different when you truly allow yourself to soak it up. I knew it was evening. I knew I was at a concert, but I hadn't noticed the beautiful stars in the sky. I really hadn't noticed just the blades of grass and how they seemed to be flowing along with the music. I didn't see all of the people around me, all of the families, and how there were people enjoying it in their own way. I got to truly experience what I was seeing because I allowed myself to be there. I allowed myself to be present. Same thing at the wedding. When I put the phone down, I got to experience the love they had for each other as they were saying the vows versus trying to capture it, not having my handshake, looking at it, looking at them. It's too much. It's too much. And I get it. But that's what the guy who's being paid, the videographer, that's what he's there for. And if you just must, because we all, I'm not going to say like, I'm going to go to an event and not take a picture of it. Give yourself time to do both. Take the picture, take the video, put it away. I mean, really put it away for 5 or 10 minutes and allow yourself to be there and be present in that moment so you can appreciate it, because you're never going to get that moment again. It's not going to happen. And to fully appreciate it, you need to be present in it. Not worrying about who didn't show up and who was late or such and such, or who's going to like your picture when they see it. Put it to the side and allow yourself to experience the moment of being there. That's where true gratitude lies. You have to be present to be grateful. You have to be there to be thankful. Because what are you thankful for if you're not fully there? And if I've given you a gift, if God has given us the gift of this moment, because that concert was a gift, that's a part of life. That's a joy of life. It's a gift. That was my spoon. And I took the time to really appreciate my spoon. And it was an awesome spoon. And I cannot wait to experience another spoon like that. But I'm glad I got to experience that spoon in that moment. So that said, I want us to try and exercise. But first, I want you to give me a moment of your time. I don't know if you're watching this, you could be, this may be the time where you have this on your phone. So maybe you're listening to it and not seeing me, or maybe you're listening to it and you're doing other things. Whatever extraneous activity you're doing, I'm going to ask if you are able to stop that for a second and give me your undivided. Okay? So I want you to just breathe in with me. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Thank you. I want you to be in this moment because I want to ask you a question. Now take another inhale for me and an exhale. Okay, so I want to ask you a question about what you value. In the journal questions, I asked you what you would do if this was your last day on earth. And I want to reverse that a little bit and talk about value. So as you're calm and you're settling yourself and you're in this moment and your eyes are closed, if you can do that. If you knew in the next few minutes that this would end, that this earth would come to an end, that your life will come to an end, if you knew in the next few moments, what would you regret that you had not done in your life? So someone told you, hey, 5 minutes from now, this earth is going to end. Life is, as you know it, is going to end. What would you regret that you had not done in your life? Did an answer pop up for you? So the answer that popped up for me surprised me. So when I thought, okay, so what if life as I know it was going to end 5 minutes from now? What would I regret? And the thing that came up in my mind and my heart, because I have to ask myself these questions before I ask you, was that I had not seen more of it, that I had not traveled. And that surprised me because that's not my everyday hustle. My everyday hustle is creating content and creating shows and pitching them with my producing partner that I want to sell, writing different blogs or pitching different editors on different ideas, submitting different political blogs that I do, doing panel discussions, seeing shows that I want to audition for, or creating content these are my everyday things. These are passions. These are things that I love. These are gifts that I have. But when it came down to, if this life as I know it, as we know it, would end 5 minutes from now, what would I regret? And it was that I hadn't seen more of the earth, that I hadn't yet gone to South America, that I hadn't gone to Africa, that I hadn't gone to Europe. I've been to certain countries. I've been to Australia, I've been to Israel, I've been to Canada, I've been to Mexico, but I haven't even seen everything I want to see in our great nation. And so that's the thing that came up for me, was that I hadn't traveled more, that I hadn't seen more of the earth. And that surprised me a little bit because as I said, that is not my daily hustle. That is not the things that I concern myself with on a daily basis. And so I'm wondering, did that thing that pop up, did that surprise you? Did the thing that you would regret not having done, did that surprise you? Is that a part of your everyday life? Did you have the same, thing as me? So I want to say this to you. Whatever the thing is that you decided was the thing that you regret not having done or seen, if life as we know it, we're going to end 5 minutes from now, whatever it is, if it's travel, like me, and maybe you I don't know where your life is right now. Maybe you can't leave town, but I guarantee you there is some place in your state or your city or your county that you've never been to or seen. I live in California and I have not seen all of California. In fact, for my mother's birthday, I'm going to take her to another part of California I hadn't seen, and we're going to do an activity that neither of us have never done or have ever done yet. For my birthday, just recently, because it wasn't a time where I could leave the country, we went to Arizona. And when I tell you I loved it, I had always wanted to go see the Grand Canyon. I'd always wanted to go to Sedona. I don't know if I've shared this, but I am an outdoor nature girl and I love hiking. And so I was able, for my 50th birthday, which was now a couple of weeks ago, I was able to hike to the top of Cathedral Rock in Sedona. And it was glorious. And I took my moment. I stood up there and I just looked around and I allowed myself to take it in because I knew you gotta go. I mean, if it's your thing. But it was beautiful to see that red rock state, to see the beautiful formations, just to and to climb that. And it was quite, it was different than any hiking I'd ever done because it was part hiking, part rock climbing, but that's another story for another time. But I did it. I knew I wanted to go someplace because I knew that traveling was something that I wanted to do. Because like I said, I asked myself this question before I made it a part of this course. And when that popped up for me, I knew that I needed to get on it. Well, Erin, if this is the thing, and I don't like to talk about myself in third person, but okay, so if this is the thing that I would regret, then why should I have that regret? Life is short. Eternity is long. This life is short. So I don't want to leave it with any regrets. I want to, in my power, be able to do all the things that I want to see and do, that I want to experience. So I travel. Now I try to do something every couple of months or go somewhere where I have not been. So back to you. So if your thing is travel like me, then of course you need to do that. But if your thing is spending time with family, then that's something that you need to do. If your thing is starting a business, if when I asked you that question, if life as we know it, you knew it was going to end 5 minutes from now and you thought, oh, it's because I didn't write that book. I didn't start that business. I didn't spend more time with my kid. I didn't do this in my marriage. I didn't get married. I didn't such and whatever your thing is, then begin to make plans to do that. Why leave this planet with one regret? So don't do that. Begin to make plans to do that. And when you are there, appreciate it. Appreciate it. I think that you will, because we've had this talk, but appreciate it. Appreciate this thing where if you said, I haven't spent enough time with my kid, then do that. Spend more time with your kid and be in that moment without the phone, without the disruptions. And if you have a teenager, I know it's going to be harder, even preteens now, adolescents, to get that cell phone, away from them, but have them be in that moment with you too. Be there. Make that memory together. Okay, so let's go over. It's time for new affirmations. It's time for new mirror work. So